So in this video, I wanted to show you guys what the actual microblading process is. So right now we're doing a test piece on her to make sure she is not allergic to the ink. This is very important because if you're allergic and no one does a test piece, your eyebrows will be pretty funky. If you just do this little test piece on the back of your ear in your hairline, if you have an allergic reaction, it's not going to be near as bad. Luckily, I have never had anyone have an allergic reaction to this, but I do always make sure I check. So I have already pre-numbed her for about 15 minutes. Right now I'm going over her right eyebrow just to get some microblading marks open so that I can get her really numb with my phase 2 numbing, which is actually meant to seep into cuts. And that kind obviously works a lot better for that very reason. The number one question I get for microblading is, does it hurt? Well, you are making little cuts into your face, so there's that. But if you have the proper numbing, then it's not going to be uncomfortable. This very first pass I'm doing is by far the most uncomfortable it will be. On a scale from 1 to 10, my clients usually say it's about a 4, and it's very tolerable. Like you can see she's just chit-chatting. She doesn't look like she's crying or in pain, just relaxing. I forgot to mention she does have her brows penciled in already. We've already measured and penciled them, and she approved the shape and everything. So once I wipe off this first pass, you'll be able to tell how naked her brows are. It is a building process, so this very first pass is just to get the shape down so that when I wipe off the pencil, I'm able to tell where we're still going. And it's also to just get that numbing stuff in. So it's a process. We go through her brows about 4 times, 3 times for sure. The 4th time is usually just little nitpicky stuff that you would want fixed on her. So on her right brow, I have applied the numbing gel. So that's seeping into her right brow while I go over her left brow for the first pass. It's the weirdest thing. I swear the left brow hurts a little bit more. I'm not sure what it is. I've noticed it's on, if you're right-handed, your left brow hurts. If you're left-handed, your right brow hurts. It's just, that's my own scientifical explanation. No, not explanation, theory. That's Amy's scientifical theory. Scientifical? I don't even think that's a word. Anyways, I'm obviously not in the science field for a reason. So I do want to give a shout out to this cute gal that I'm doing her brows. She is just adorable, and this happens with women. After you have kids, your brow hairs your brows don't grow that much. And even through plucking through high school, after you pluck a hair over and over, it's probably not going to come back. There are products that also make it harder for your hair to come back. If you're using like a pomade brow every day, you can guarantee your brows aren't going to grow back because that stuff is so hard to get out of your skin or to get off your skin. It's so sticky, you have to scrub and scrub and scrub. And guess what? That's taking out the hair growth. I've been growing out my brows for like 4 years, and on the inside I have like maybe 4 awesome hairs that I just like love. I take such good care of those hairs. My husband's like, you should really get rid of those. And I'm like, no, they're growing. I can't do anything to them. I love them. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my gosh, look at all that blood. Well, she's not really bleeding that much. She does bleed a little bit more than the average client, but yes, you can bleed. That's why if you're going to get your brows done, lay off the booze, lay off the pills, Make sure you're not on any blood thinners because that's going to push out the ink excessively, which will make it hard to get the ink to stay into your skin. And voila! Just like that, a brow is born. And it looks so good. So that was after the second pass. Now you can really see the brow taking shape. I just used one of those twinkle razors to clean up her little extra hairs that are out of the line. And notice I'm still using the numbing stuff. So I've used it once already on her right eyebrow and on her left eyebrow. I'm going to use it again on her right eyebrow and her left eyebrow. And you can gauge, like, if you are a microblader, you can tell when your client is not that numb. Please make them comfortable. I've heard a lot of horror stories about how the microblader didn't use any numbing stuff and the girl was ready to just get up and leave. Use proper numbing stuff. Pay for it. That's what your clients are paying for. Also, if you are a microblader, notice that I am staying in my chair the entire time. Practice upside down. Get a feel of things upside down. I do this weird thing with my hand, you'll notice right there. Practice like that, because then you don't have to hover over your client, and then your boobs don't have to knock them in the face, and it's like awkward. Stay in your chair, position your hand differently, pull the skin, and just practice like this so that you can do this, because it's achievable. When I started doing eyebrows, I was never taught to do them facing the right way. Like, to this day, when I do makeovers and do eyebrows, I ask my client to lay down so I can do their brows properly, because I just don't even know how to do them when they're sitting up, to be honest, which is perfect for this field. So products I have used in this video are the Choose 12 Slope needles. I really enjoy that brand. And then for the ink, I'm using LI Pigments Rich Brown with 1 dot of the Auburn. I've noticed their inks tend to heal ashy. Well, obviously their darker colors heal ashy, so I try and fix that by adding the Auburn to the color. I am totally the personality type that if I'm taught something, I do that to the T and I perfect with that. I am venturing out and trying new blades and also new inks, which I am super excited about the inks that I have just found. I will share them with you in an upcoming video. I also have a Q&A video that I will be posting here in the next couple weeks. But I'm curious to what videos you guys would like to see. So if you would like to comment on this video of what you'd like to see, if you have questions, if you have questions you want to add to the Q&A video, I can totally do that. Just any clarification that you feel like you need if you're going to do microblading, if you're an artist, if you're gonna go get microblading done, all of that fun stuff. I'm totally here to help you guys out. One thing that is super important to me and the business I'm building is when I have a client, I get to know my client. I ask them questions, I talk to them the entire time. And my main reason is because I want them to come to me as a friend. I don't want them to come to me in like a business relationship. I want it to be a friendship. And then when they need their yearly touch-up, they contact you because they're excited for their touch-up, and 2, they're excited to see you and see what you've been up to. And I have been so blessed with my clients to where My yearly touch-ups, I'm like, how's your daughter, Brittany? How's your husband? Like, know your client. I didn't mean to sound mean when I just said that. Okay, so now I am finishing up. I will go back and do just some little touch-ups here and there. I wonder if that was the first time I've said in this whole video. I usually catch myself saying it, but maybe I say it so much that I don't even know I'm saying it anymore. I guess we'll find out. So, right now I am doing what I call baking, baking the brows. I'm gonna let this ink sit in her brows for about 15 minutes. Just let it absorb as much as possible. So yeah, I'll fast forward it so you guys don't have to wait 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm back. Gonna wipe off the ink that's on her brows. This part, I go very detailed with what I do, so anything that I see with my eye that I would want fixed if these were my eyebrows, I will go over and do that right now. With microblading, detail is definitely key. Remember that this is a two-part process. Why is it a two-part process? Well, one, the very first time you get your brows done, you might have pieces that just don't stay that well. And it's not your fault, and it's not your microblader's fault. It's just a process. And also, the very first appointment, you don't ever want to overdo it. So you'll notice in her picture, her after picture, that there's still some little spaces, but they're there for a reason. I don't want to overcut her skin. I want her body to heal. I want to see how it heals, and then next time I can gauge better of what needs to be done. I have had people ask me before if I teach. I do not teach from the beginning. If you are a certified microblader, I do one-on-ones, but you have to already be certified. The best way to look for a school that fits you is look at the instructor's style of a brow. You know, everyone has different ideas of what brows should look like and stuff, and find an artist that you would want them to do brows on your face, because most likely that's the style of brow you will be doing on other people's faces. This part of the appointment is where I go over my aftercare. Some microbladers like to do the dry healing. I do not like to do the dry healing because, one, it's a cut, and I want to make sure that we take care of your cut so that it has no chance of getting infected. So my aftercare is witch hazel and aquaphor. Basically, if you keep the aquaphor on your brows for the 7 days, your brows will heal nice and you won't have these nasty scabs. They actually will scab, but you won't notice that they're scabbed because they are very wet and soft versus a dry, flaky scab on your face. So there's that. And that, my friends, is one session of microblading. Hopefully this helped if you've been thinking about getting microblading done. If you've just wondered, been curious what the process is, I hope this video was your answer. If you have any questions or comments, comment below, and we will be talking to you gals soon.